Hi everyone, this is Angie Wong and I'm president of Legacy PAC. I just want to thank all of our followers. We're close to 100,000 followers on Facebook and we've only been around for a few short months. So thank you again. I'm going to ask you for your continued support leading up to 2024. Please donate to legacy-pac.org. That's legacy-pac.org. Thank you, and we'll see you on the campaign trail.
I'm Jared Craig of the Vet Voice, and on behalf of Legacy PAC and Veterans for Trump, Veterans for America First, I have the pleasure of announcing an endorsement, Donna Watson, for Georgia's 6th District Chair. So, Donna, thank you for coming on the show and tell us about yourself, about your race, and what you plan to do.
Well, thank you for having me on your show. My name is Donna Watson, and I'm running for the chairman spot on the 6th Congressional District. Um, I've lived in the 6th Congressional District since 1988. Back in the day when I first moved here to Georgia, this was Newt Gingrich territory, and we were very Republican. I was busy raising my family, working, um, always voted Republican. And then one day I woke up and I had a Democrat in my Republican seat, and I thought, what happened here? Like, how did this happen? And so, I thought, well, I need to find out what I could do to maybe make a difference. And so I've been, ever since then, very active in the Republican Party. But I feel like basically my testimony per se for how I got involved was over the 6th congressional district seat. That was the impetus that got me motivated. And so 4 years later, I still have, well, I did up till redistricting. And so it just makes sense that at this point in my life that we need a chairman, and why not me? I feel like I'm very well qualified. I grew up in a military family, so I really appreciate the endorsement from the veterans. My dad was in the Navy for 21 years. He joined when he was at the young age of 17. So he spent 21 years in the Navy, and then so he was only 38 when he retired. And then we moved back to the small town that I was from in West, or they were from in West Tennessee. And from there, my dad went and served another 20 years in law enforcement. He worked for the sheriff's department there where we lived, Henry County, Tennessee. So I have the utmost respect for military and law enforcement, and I'm very grateful for all that military does to keep my country safe. And some of the things I feel like I can do on my end is to do things to help promote the Republican Party. Um, I quickly joined several Republican organizations, the Cobb GOP, the Cobb County Republican Women's Club, are two of the first things I joined. In my first year at the Republican Women's Club, I became the recording secretary. And then the next year, I was vice president of Cobb Women. And that year, we grew our membership from around 100 members to over 300 and became the largest Republican Women's Club in the state. So, that was good. And then the last couple of years, I've spent educating myself more in the leadership kind of roles. I was in Republican leadership for Georgia, which I was very proud to have been selected for that, and also the Conservative Policy Leadership Institute. And those are both programs that were started by Paul Coverdale in the early 90s. And he started those programs because when he became a senator, there weren't very many Republicans in Georgia. He had a hard time just staffing his own office. So he came up with this idea to try to bring up some leaders in the party. And so now there's about 500 some odd alumni, and several of them hold offices at the legislature um, and different GOP offices as well. Um, so with all that, and I am a nurse practitioner by profession. I went to the University of Tennessee and I have a degree in nursing from there. I also have a degree from a small college in West Tennessee called Union University. It's a very conservative Baptist college there. I graduated from there in 1984, telling my age here, and then I went to nursing school at UT. And then in 1988, when I moved here, I had worked as a nurse, and then I ended up going back to school to become a nurse practitioner. I was in the second class of Kennesaw State University's master's degree in nursing program. And at the time, I did have 3 kids, and I went back to school and did that. And I've worked as a nurse practitioner for WellStar since for 34 years. And I'm really kind of proud to say I am the first nurse practitioner that they put in urgent care. So I'm kind of the prototype. Sometimes I say I'm the dinosaur, but I'm proud to say we now have roughly 28 to 30 nurse practitioners in the urgent care system. And several of our clinics, we have like 19 urgent cares now, and several of them are staffed solely with nurse practitioners. So I'm kind of proud of that. And then, um, so anyway, so now I'm running to be chairman of the 6th district, and I have some very passionate ideas about that because the past couple years we've really not been a very active committee. Um, One of the things that my mission, I have 2 main missions. One is fundraising because the district did nothing for fundraising over the last 4 years as I know it. Um, and everybody knows it takes money and lots of it to run for office. And the 6th Congressional District is probably the richest district in the state of Georgia. And why we are doing zero fundraising is just not acceptable. So I have some really good ideas on things I want to implement as some fundraisers. I actually am planning to establish an annual fundraising event that people throughout the state will know that, I feel like I kind of want to just go ahead and say what I want to do. I'm planning on starting a Lincoln dinner in February. The 8th district and Perry has their fish fry, so everybody knows August you're going to the fish fry. The 11th district has their annual barbecue and shooting contest. And so we need to be known as the 6th district that has that fabulous annual fundraiser called the Lincoln Dinner. And so if I'm chairman, you'll need to put it on your calendar that February there will be a
I'll put it
Lincoln
on my
Dinner.
calendar because it sounds like a good time.
So that, because it's like the Democrats are spending tons and tons of money on getting these offices, and the Republicans are falling behind in that. And I just feel like we need to put our money where our mouth is, because if we don't financially support good candidates, we get more and more of this bad representation in Washington that is taxing us to death and ruining our economy. Like even just yesterday, I think good old Joe Biden's decided that those of us with good credit are now going to pay more in interest rates, while people with bad credit pay less.
Yeah, I saw that too, and that is exactly how you create a financial crisis. That's how
Yeah,
you create a real estate bubble. And I've
right.
spoken, the only people who really make out in that scenario are those of us that buy it on the secondary market, waiting to buy on foreclosure markets. But
Hmm.
that type of thinking, that type of absurdity and socialism, I think we need to take it on head
Hmm.
first and fight it every bit that we can.
Right.
So I understand you said fundraising was the first.
Mhm.
What's the other goal that you had in mind?
Yeah, my other goal is we need to be providing more platforms for our candidates to showcase our candidates. Just an example, and I do kind of keep talking about congressional races because we are the congressional district. Um, we had, I think, 9 candidates that ran for that seat this last election cycle. And the 6th district as a committee did nothing to promote them, to showcase them, to get their message out. And I just also think that's not acceptable, because we need to have platforms where not just those of us who go to all these Republican Party things, because I say we're preaching to the choir most of the time, but if we had some events out in the public where general public would come, they could learn more about the candidates and make good choices, instead of later down the road having buyer's remorse or thinking, well, that person's not representing my values. Well, how much did you get to know them beforehand? So, but we should be providing those kind of platforms for our candidates so that we can make good choices. And that's my other thing. Those are
Well,
my
as a
2
former
main things.
candidate in a district that where I'm in District 3, there was not a lot of support from the district because this is a different type of demographic in District 3. But having so many candidates in your race last time, I'm familiar with District 6. You had, and I'm not going to go through the litany of names, but an opportunity for town halls, for debate possibly, or a series of debates. Because as I understood, a lot of the districts became a battle of the mailers, the battle of the phone callers.
Mhm.
And there was nothing done from the district themselves to, like you said, create a platform.
Right. Mhm.
So I understand your race is coming up tomorrow.
It is
And I want to
tomorrow.
do a call to action for
Mhm.
all of the District 6 voters that are going to vote tomorrow and to vote for Watson for chairman of the District 6, or sorry, the Congressional District 6 of Georgia,
Mhm.
and to put someone in office that is not only capable but willing to do the job.
Mhm.
Come off the sidelines. Well, you've kind of been in the game a good bit,
I've
but
been in
coming
the
off the
game some.
sidelines and looking for leadership roles to do what no one else is doing. That's the type of people that we need. Not only those that can do the job, but know the job and know when it's not being done and willing to do it.
Mhm.
So do you have anywhere that you would like to drive people? Because I know that the election's tomorrow, but assuming that you win tomorrow,
Mhm.
how would voters or members of the community contact you about your endeavors for fundraising
Mhm.
and for maybe volunteering? Do you have a website that you would direct them to, or is that to be determined?
That's to be determined, but definitely we will have something like that. And I look forward to getting to know my executive committee and learning and finding out everybody's strengths and weaknesses so that we can put together a really good team to implement that because I want to make the sixth district a contributing organization to the Republican mission.
Well, I think the whole Republican part of the state GOP needs to be healed. And what better person than a registered nurse and a nurse
Exactly.
practitioner,
Nurse
right?
practitioner. That's right.
Well,
Yep.
thank you for coming on, and I look forward to hearing good news tomorrow.
Well, thank
And
you.
we are happy to support you and endorse you in this race.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
So we know the issues, we know about energy, we know about the border, we know Joe Biden doesn't know what he's doing. We know all that, we get all that. But why do this? Why do this here tonight with Legacy PAC? Because there's a whole lot of people who have the passion to save this country who need help getting off the ground.
The purpose of Legacy PAC is to save America. That's our mission. That's what we really want to do because America is worth saving.
We support the next generation of conservative leaders. We just want good, solid patriots. They're not embedded in like the establishment.
I am a political outsider. I am by trade, I'm a cybersecurity engineer. Okay, so this is my first run in politics. We need more conservative Republicans standing up and fighting for the Constitution.
We're an America First PAC, and we want to promote and help our up-and-coming candidates, and we're going to be holding the line for President Trump.
I joined the Army at 17 years old. My first day at my first unit, which was 25th Infantry, was September 10th, 2001. So the next day was 9/11. And I spent about a total of a decade between Iraq and Afghanistan in country. So my country means everything to me. When I realized that if people like myself who don't want to be politicians don't start stepping up and taking these seats, that nothing's going to change, then I said, okay, I'll do it.
Who deserves to lead the people of this country more than those who serve this country? So I'm behind every one of them. So let's make sure we get more veterans into power. I'm all for it.
Remember why you're involved. We have to make sure people remain humble and not engage in self-glorification. You are here for one reason, and that is to save the country. Period, end of story.
And for those candidates who are looking uphill and wondering how, keep your head down, focus on the target, and outwork everybody. And I promise you, you're not gonna lose. You're either gonna win on election night or you change the game on election night. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much, Legacy Pack.